this CNC router, which I've actually named the MAXI CNC router. All the drawings and parts list are available for all patrons on my Patron pages. So I've had a lot of requests for a little bit of explanation of what's going on here, because the original video was just had music on it, and I just took all the major parts of video from, I think it's 14 different videos. So there is 14 videos in a playlist on my channel which describes and shows you every single part, how it's made, and how you can make every part with just ordinary shop tools. So in this case with this CNC router, I did actually buy a gantry extrusion because I priced up sort of constructing it myself, and it was actually cheaper to buy the extruded piece of aluminium, which all turned out fine. And I've designed it in a very robust way and a simple way. So the bottom section is all tubular steel, as you saw in the beginning there, and it's all welded up, sort of precisely square. And now I'm sort of building the gantry. I'm just putting these rails in here now because it's difficult to put them in afterwards. And as you saw just now, I drilled all the holes, and I've made the side plates here, or the support plates. And I actually haven't solidly mounted the Y-axis rails yet. They're just sat on there at the moment because I wanted to build the gantry onto the rails and then use the whole gantry system to be able to use it as a jig, as it were. And so I don't think I filmed actually drilling the Y-axis. I may have. It may come up in a minute or two. But this is the upright plate actually, which is for the XZ axes. So this is the plate that runs along the X rails along the gantry. And as you can see here, you don't need a CNC machine to make a CNC machine. I'm using all hand tools, just a simple drill press there with a simple drill, as it were, as well, and just marked out, center popped, and drilled and tapped. And of course in the videos I go into great detail of how actually to put this together, and so this is really just a combination of all those videos, and just like, I suppose, a little bit of an advertisement that, well, this is how you build one. It's really not rocket science, and anybody really, any carpenter can build one. You don't have to be an engineer. If you're designing one, well, yes, it does help to be an engineer, but I've designed it in such a way that it can be simply made. And indeed, I've had many patrons contact me telling me that they have actually constructed one of these. I do have two large-ish CNC router builds, and a smaller one too, like a 4040. That's a very small one. You could call that a benchtop one, but this is the biggest one here. This is what I have dubbed the MAXI, and there's also the AMAX as well, which I've recently finished actually. Like I say, this was built just over 2 years ago now, and I actually had a patron inquire whether he could buy it before I'd even finished it. So I said, why not? So I exchanged it, and I built another one. So I'm using that aluminium rail there just to I put it there, clamped it there, and I used it so I could get the screw up and pack it up and get it absolutely square, or running square, with the y-axis there that I'm just drilling the bracketry there for now. And yes, everything was all nice and square. You know, you got to be within well, a few thou, I suppose, of squareness, then we'll say, to be able, you know, to for the rotor to actually run nice and smoothly. You know, you don't want it binding up when it's running, because you know that you could start having some problems. Oh, this is one of the only parts that I made with my CNC mill that I converted, and all the drawings and parts list is available on my Patron pages for this as well. This is a little X2, a Sieg X2. In America, I think I think it's Grizzly or Hare freight, or both of those names they're sold under. But it's still X2. But the original company that made it is Sieg in China, and it's not bad equipment actually. And they do sort of they make a good start for a conversion for CNC. So I think these motors on here are NEMA 24s high torque. I think they're 4 Newton meters. I'm not sure. I can't really remember how many inches they are, but it's quite a bit. You wouldn't stall it with your hands, put it that way. Just simple bracketry, so long as it just holds, you know, the stepper motors there nice and square. There is no load on the stepper motor as such other than torque, because that bearing that you see on the end of the screw, that's a double bearing in there, and it's all preloaded, so there's no sideways transmission then, or forward and back in that case. And that's where I prefer to use preloaded bearings. And just a simple attachment method for the X drive up on top there. It's just some long, I think they're 8mm. No, they're not 8mm, they're 6mm. Yeah, some long 6mm bolts and some nuts. So it's fully adjustable. I could adjust that plate, you know, out or in, and get it exactly what I required, rather than, you know, sort of making more sort of bracketry. I've used that method before, and it works quite well. What I'm doing at the moment is I'm putting a shelf on the back, or plate then, for the cable chain to run along, as I'm just about to put it on now. There again, simple bracketry, you know, nothing complex at all. You know, it's all sort of functional, and you know, it probably could have looked prettier in different places, but you know, I build things sort of fairly strong, overly strong actually, and functional, you know. And there it is, the finished thing. The only thing I didn't show in this particular video, but I did make 3 individual videos, and that was on the wiring and how even to set up the VFD, how to program the VFD. I did a full video on that and a full video on the wiring and some explanation of how the electrical box is connected up. That aluminium checker plate box down there that you see, I built all the electronics inside that. And this is its maiden run. What I normally do is to make sure everything is working all right, and none of these stepper motors are getting warm, and they're not binding anywhere. It's all running smoothly. That is I think I'm doing a meter circle. It might even be 1200. I'm not really sure now. Yeah, I think it was just a circle of 1200, something like that. And I just let it run like that for 4, 5, 6 hours. Considerable time, really, considers a brand new machine at this stage. I wanted to know, especially as one of my patrons was purchasing it, I wanted it to be exactly right. So there it is.